If you are looking for an affordable 300 milligram caffeine pre-workout, this might be your solution. This is NutraCost Pre-X. So this is Xtreme version of the pre-workout. They have a regular version and they have this version. This is the Xtreme version, meaning it has 300 milligrams of caffeine plus nootropics as well as theobromine. So you're going to get a well-balanced pre-workout at a very low price. This is one to consider. If you are a beginner taking 200 milligram caffeine pre-workouts and you're like, you want to take the next step up, 300 milligrams might be your sweet spot. It's combined with a little bit of your theobromine and other things. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Nader. I'm the founder of fitfrick.com. I have all kinds of resources, lists, workout spreadsheets, whatever you want for bodybuilding and muscle building in general, as well as other things like strength building and whatnot. Fitfrick.com is your resource. So this is a completely unbiased, unsponsored review, just like every other video I do. However, if you do click the links in the description and you purchase something, I may get a commission, but the price is the same for you. And trust me, this one is a really cheap pre-workout that you can find. Check out the links in the description for everything you need for this video. So with all that boring stuff out the way, let's cover NutraCost Pre-Xtreme. So the label has 15 grams per serving at 30 servings. They have a 60 serving version as well. So the price varies, but they're both cheap. Both cheap. I'll tell you the price in a sec. But starting off with citrulline, pure citrulline, 4 grams. That's good for pumps. You're going to notice the benefits. That's like the very minimum. 3 grams would be like the bare minimum. 4 grams, you're good. You're set. Anything higher, you may notice a little bit of extra benefits. When you reach 6 grams, the benefits gets better between 6 and 10. Beyond 10, it doesn't get better. There's research on that as well. Beyond 10, there is no additional benefits. So sticking to 4 grams, sometimes less is more. So the next ingredient is Beta-Alanine. That's going to give you some tingles. You're going to feel some harmless sensation beneath your skin kind of thing, but it's totally harmless and it does go away. It does subside. As you use the pre-workout more, you will feel less of the tingles. But if you use it less, you will feel more of the tingles. So you kind of have to have a balance. Beta-Alanine is like creatine, it saturates in your body. So there's a theory, either you're building tolerance to tingles or your body is just being saturated with Beta-Alanine. It's like, okay, you don't need to feel the tingles anymore. It's already saturated. We don't know yet. The research hasn't found the answer yet. I looked, I'm a nerd. 2 grams of taurine. This one is a nice pump ingredient. It increases endurance and it just helps the water retention in your muscles, helping you maximize the water that you're intaking. You should be drinking a lot of water, especially if you're taking creatine. So when you're taking ingredients like taurine, glycerol, Beta-Alanine, these ingredients are osmolyte ingredients. They need water. Creatine on its own already demands a nice steady amount of water. When you're taking other ingredients, you just want to make sure that you're going to the bathroom and the color is white, basically, when you're peeing it down the toilet. Beta-Alanine, nope, I don't want to miss one. Nitrosinogen. This one is a better version of arginine. That means you're going to get some nice pumps. Forget about normal arginine. This is a premium version and it's dosed complete. It's a full dosage at 1.5 grams. It's going to give you some nice pumps, especially when it's combined with citrulline. Pumps, by the way, are great for blood flow. It's going to make you feel pumped. It's not going to necessarily increase performance, but it will help with waste removal as well as blood flow, just delivering more nutrients to those muscles that really need it the most. So it really is helpful to have a nitric oxide booster because it can also help with blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, I don't want to say that this will cure it, but when you're taking stimulants, you're more likely to have that vasoconstriction effect, which is where your vessels, narrow and you need to take, or you don't need to take, but it helps to take citrulline, nitric oxide boosters, citrulline, agmatine, the better version of arginine. Arginine is not as bioavailable, but it can still have some benefits when it's combined with citrulline. I don't want to go too off track and bore you. Am I boring you, man? This is science. This is stuff that makes the world tick. And the thing is, these ingredients, some of them come from foods. Like citrulline is coming from watermelon. So it's really interesting stuff when science is like, hey, yo, watermelon can give us some nice pumps in the gym. Let's use some watermelon on Jeffrey over there. Let's see what he can do in the gym. Let's see those pumps, man. Sorry, I'm a bit hyper. Beta-Alanine hydrous, 1.5 grams, not the clinical dose that's showed and proven to work in studies, but 1.5 is better than nothing. So either you take it or leave it, and it's a cheap pre-workout. The normal dosage is usually between 2 to 4 grams. Then we have caffeine, good old caffeine. You cannot have energy without caffeine. Caffeine is the foundation. It is the grandfather of all stimulants. If you are looking for a pre-workout with stimulants, caffeine is going to be in there 100%, like 99.99% of the time it's going to be in there. Caffeine is just going to decrease fatigue, increase alertness, and just set the foundation for energy. Even though all it's doing is inhibiting the enzyme that makes you feel tired in your brain. That's why when you stop taking pre-workouts or caffeine in its entirety, you will feel some withdrawals. And that's the price you pay when you take pre-workouts. The stronger the pre-workout, the bigger the withdrawals. And of course, the withdrawals can, hopefully this is educational for you. The withdrawals will subside if you taper down. So if you taper down slowly, work your way down the caffeine levels of pre-workouts. And by the way, FitFrick has caffeine sorted pre-workout ranking lists. So you can find 100 milligram caffeine pre-workouts all the way up to 600 milligrams. Yeah, you better believe there's some pre-workouts that have 600 milligrams of caffeine. Who is that for, man? Appointed Nutrition answer. They're the only company that's putting 600 milligrams of caffeine. Soon, it's going to be 1200 milligrams at this point, at this trajectory. It's going on that trajectory where we're going to a point where caffeine rules everything and we're just forgetting about all the other stimulants. Appointed Nutrition, are you listening? You better get this in your head, man. I'm kidding. Appointed Nutrition, mad respect to them, but ease down. Not ease down, but be innovative. Don't take my advice. I'm just a reviewer, bro. All this advice, you can do whatever you want. Don't get mad at me. Don't at me. Don't tag. Okay. I'm going off track. And acetyl L-tyrosine. So this is not the best form of tyrosine. Acetyl L-tyrosine isn't as bioavailable as the normal, regular tyrosine version. But even if it was tyrosine, 250 milligrams is just minimal. It's like a little sprinkle, a little bit of salt on your bacon, on your food. A little bit of salt. I don't eat bacon. That's why I was like, I don't want to say bacon, but it's not my type of thing. But then we have alpha GPC, 50%, 200 milligrams. I mean, at the price that you're going to pay for this pre-workout, which I'll get to in a minute, I guess it's fine, right? We just want the pumps and the caffeine and maybe some of the nitric oxide boosters. Then we have DMAE, not to be confused with the stimulant DMAA or DMHA or any of that. It's just a nootropic. It works to increase acetylcholine, but in a very different way than regular choline. It's very interesting. It can, I think it can prevent the breakdown of acetylcholine, and it increases acetylcholine indirectly, in some indirect manner, but super good for the brain, super beneficial for cognition. CDP choline, 100 milligrams. Again, it's a little bit under the clinical dose of like 200 to 300 milligrams, but 100 milligrams, we'll take it, combined with alpha GPC. DMAE, why not? We'll take it, bros. You hear that, Appointed Nutrition? Oh. Do you ever have these moments where you're like, whoa, I'm missing something. I'm missing my microphone, or I'm missing my phone, even though it's right there, it's recording. I've done that before. Theobromine, 100 milligrams. This is a cousin of caffeine, but it doesn't have any vasoconstrictive effects. Instead, it actually reduces high blood pressure, so it can expand blood vessels, giving you better pumps as well as better mood elevation, better than caffeine itself. It's a cousin of caffeine, so think of like dark cocoa, like hot chocolate, or dark chocolate in general has cerebromine. It's in chocolate. So huperzine, this one is actually a proper dose, 200 micromilligrams. This is not the max dose, but it's the clinical dose. And the very minimum would be like 100, I should say, or 10 milligrams or 20 milligrams. But when it's at that, it's usually at 1%. So this 200 micromilligrams would be 20 milligrams in another pre-workout that has huperzine 1%. So, oh, and there's also vitamin B6, B12, but these are not the best forms, but we'll take it, I guess. Vitamin B6, get your proper multivitamins. Vitamin B6 can actually cause fatigue. So if you're taking the wrong form of vitamin B6, there's an entire paradox called vitamin B6 paradox. It's a whole study that I can link in the description. Basically, you need that P5P version, which is more bioavailable and will not cause issues mentally in the long run. And it will give you energy. The bad form gives you no energy, it gives you fatigue instead. So you're basically paying to be tired over time in the long run. Of course, a pre-workout with this vitamin B6, taking it a couple times a week, should not have an effect, especially after a month after you finish using it. Just to compensate though, I always recommend NutraBio's multivitamin for now, if they don't reformulate it, but it's good right now. I can put the link in the description. And yeah, so let me get to the experience. So this is fruit punch flavored. It's not naturally flavored either. It does have artificial sweeteners, but it looks like it has natural coloring. We'll take that. And there are fillers and stuff, but when I'm drinking this, there isn't any chemical taste. It just tastes like fruit punch, but kind of subtle. It's not overpowering. There's no chemical taste. There's no upset stomach. And trust me, after 10 years of taking pre-workouts, I do not like to take heavily flavored and colored pre-workouts. I try to avoid it because I want to minimize the effects of those types of things. So the only thing that would cause stomach issues is maybe artificial sweeteners, but there isn't any stevia in here, thankfully. And then we have like the symbols on here, GMP compliant vegetarian product. So if you are a vegetarian, hey bro, this is for you. Non-GMO, I already said that. But man, okay. So the price is interesting on this pre-workout. This is one of those pre-workouts that's actually affordable. So drinking this, I'll get to the price for it in a second. Drinking this was just normal. There wasn't any crazy increase in energy, and I'm taking Stim Junkie pre-workouts nearly every day. Not every day, but mostly every day. And taking this kept me awake. It actually gave me energy. And I do like to take 300 milligram caffeine pre-workouts in between those Stim Junkie days, and this worked not as well as other 300 milligram caffeine pre-workouts. Like I felt better with Bulk Black, but maybe I'm being biased because I've been with them for so long, and I do like their quality of supplements where they are using natural flavors and sweeteners. I'm always like gravitating towards their products. But for a 300 milligram caffeine pre-workout, this sets not the standard, but it's there. 300 milligrams is high. It used to be the highest a couple of years ago, but since then people have built tolerance, and the market for pre-workouts got bigger. 300 milligrams is nothing compared to the Stim Junkie pre-workouts that we have today with 600 milligrams of caffeine, as I mentioned. But I didn't want to ramble on too much, but the focus on here was all right. It wasn't anything tunnel vision or anything like that, but it felt like there was something going on, something supportive for focus and cognition. Nothing crazy, nothing long lasting. It was just a very productive day where I would go about my day and it was normal focus. It wasn't weak focus, it was normal. It wasn't tunnel vision or anything like that. And the pumps were okay. Like surprisingly, even though it has 1.5 grams of nitrosinogen and citrulline, the pumps are actually okay. Like it's not bad. It keeps me full and I feel fuller when I do take this. But it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like, like for me personally, I wish there was agmatine, citrulline, nitrosinogen. and some other nitric oxide boosters like glycerol. Then you have like all the angles of nitric oxide attacked. You know, you have that glycerol for the water pumps. Then we have the nitrates for the nitrate pathway. Then we have citrulline, which increases nitric oxide through the arginine pathway. So right there's 3 different pathways, and there's even more. Like there's stuff that could inhibit the enzyme that breaks down nitric oxide, because your body's not gonna let you have everything. There's always an opposite effect in anything you do, anything you take, any action in your body. There's always like an enemy, or not an enemy I should say, but there's always like a natural reaction where the body tries to put everything under normal, like under normal circumstances, I should say. Totally interesting. I do have a full write-up on this on fitfrick.com, but basically it's a good foundational pre-workout made for athletes, it seems like, and it's there. Everything is there, but it's not amazing. It's more supportive. So if you're coming from a 200 milligram caffeine pre-workout like Bucked Up or the normal bulk by Transparent Labs, then I'm sure you're going to be happy with this, because it has a little bit more of a premium source of nitric oxide, which is the nitrocinogen. And plus, the price is amazing for this. 60 servings of these ingredients for, I think it was $38, $38 US dollars, $38. It's always been that price for a while. And they do have 2 different versions, one with agmatine, one with nitrocinogen. So nitrocinogen is the one I've been using, and it's good. It's not overpowering, and it delivers, it does the job. So, this is like if you are a beginner, you're used to drinking caffeine, you're not new to caffeine. You've been taking 100 milligram caffeine, like 1 cup of coffee or maybe 2, and maybe you've tried some pre-workouts, C4 perhaps, Bucked Up. This would be a step up, especially from Bucked Up. Let me just tell you that. But something stronger than this would be like Bulk Black, Cage Elite having 400 milligrams of caffeine. And yeah, so that's a comparison. If you are in the latter, like if you're thinking if you should get this, you should if you're under a budget, because also the 30 serving tub, get this, sells for $24 on Amazon. $24. That's less than $1 per serving. The standard for fully stacked pre-workouts is usually something like $2 or $1 something. It's usually like a 20 serving tub. That's 50 to 60 bucks. That's some pretty good math, I would say. I'm not very good at math, but that's some pretty good deals from NutriCost. I guess that's why they're called NutriCost. They cut down on the costs. But yeah, if you want to check out more lists, more reviews, I have more on my channel. There's the beginner pre-workouts, there's pre-workouts for teenagers. If you are a teenager looking into pre-workouts, you know, take the very minimum. Sometimes less is more. You don't want to take something overpowering, because you are borrowing for your energy from tomorrow, from your future self. That's why it takes a couple of days to recover. When you completely stop caffeine, your body starts to get more tired. So be careful. Be careful with that for sure. But if you want something naturally flavored, why not? Go with Transparent Labs Bulk Black or the regular bulk. So use coupon code FITFRICK for those pre-workouts, but for this, you can just click the link in the description. And if you click it, you buy it, I will get a commission, but the price is the same for you. And I'm happy, you're happy, everyone's happy. But that's it. That's it, that's all, and that's everything that's everything there is to this pre-workout. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. You are a legend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone. If you are still here, I appreciate you. Why do I go in circles, man? I'm going in circles with this. Maybe because I didn't get enough sleep last night, but yeah. It just smells like a pre-workout to me. It smells like a normal pre-workout to me.